Did you intentionally do this?
Did you intentionally do what?
Claude.
I didn't intentionally do
I
anything.
think you intentionally did it. Can I just
I
wear them
don't
like
know
this?
what you're talking about. No. Put them on normal. They go.
I know,
their
but
way.
it's... Oh, okay.
Just like that. R
the
means
L?
right. L means left.
Okay. But not...
All right, now do test. Test yourself.
Test.
Can you hear me?
Test.
Can
No.
you- no.
I can't hear you. You broke it.
Come on. Keep going.
Mm-mm.
Test.
Test.
You can't hear anything?
I can't hear anything.
One more time.
No.
You want me to fix it for you?
I hate you. I don't know why you mess with me. You did. You intentionally did these
Stick it in
backwards.
there.
Stick what? And wait,
Stick it in
you
there.
stick it in there.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's your job,
Stick it
not
in
mine.
the
Oh,
house.
I can hear.
All right, there you go. You okay?
No. It's been a night. It's been a day. It's been a morning.
Can you hear now?
I can hear
All
you.
right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Welcome to Before the Kids Wake Up. I'm Claude.
I think I'm Renee.
Oh, boy. We've been gone for a little bit.
We have.
We take these breaks because we just need to not be doing anything, I guess.
I think it's just because our kids are crazy and we just don't have time.
But we do have a lot, like, things collectively come together and we can actually, like, talk about stuff, though. That's always good.
Yeah, that's true.
Although we could probably do an everyday show if we really wanted to.
That's true. If we had time.
That's absolutely true. So you're finally getting your new closet.
Oh my gosh,
How
I'm
you excited
so
about that?
excited about my
You
closet.
guys understand background on this. So when we moved in this house almost 6 years ago, Renee has a walk-in closet is it a walk-in closet?
Yeah, it's a walk-in
It's
closet.
a walk-in closet, right? And
Yep.
it's nice and it's fairly big, but it was not organized well. I guess it used to be a hallway, and when they redid it, they just didn't. It's just not organized. It's really weird. It has the ceilings go up. On
It's like
two
weird
sides, and
cutouts
there's a
of
weird
the ceiling
cutout,
and the
it's-
wall.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't it look kind of like somebody like just took some Tetris pieces and like threw it in and made a closet?
Yeah, I absolutely feel that way.
Yeah.
But what's cool now is that we spend a little bit of money getting her an actual closet set and making it looking nice and
I
and
wanted
for you.
Claude to custom build it for me
course you did.
because in our last house, he custom built me a closet just exactly like I wanted. And it was beautiful. But after you did it, we moved out a year later.
Yeah,
so I didn't get to use it that much.
It was hell, and
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do it
Yeah,
again.
so he told me no. So he made me find things that we could
Right.
like pre-buy and just
Yeah.
he could put together.
Yes, and I'm excited because then you'll finally shut up about your closet.
I'm so excited.
And we're also redoing our room, too, which is actually really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because our room is the most pathetic room in the whole house.
Kind of
We've
sad.
gone out of our way to build custom shelves and a faux fireplace in our living room and done several things to our kids' rooms, and we're not treating ourselves right, you know. And what was I used to love because we have this California king bed,
Yeah.
and we don't have a California king room, and so the bed just basically takes up all the room.
It does.
And at one point we had end tables, and you couldn't even open the door all the way.
Yeah.
And we got rid of those. And then Renee decided that we needed a treadmill. And so now this big old treadmill in our bedroom that nobody uses.
Well, because it was for the dogs. And then that dog passed away.
Yeah, we spent all that money for the dog to be able to run. Because, dogs can't run outside.
It wasn't for running. It was for training. It builds confidence when dogs can walk on a treadmill.
Yeah. Did it build confidence?
I don't know. She
No.
passed away.
So
So,
it cost a waste of money.
anyways. So back to the closet. So to do the closet, right, we took everything out and you patched the holes because we're getting ready to do new stuff. And so I painted it all white because why not, right? White's a beautiful color.
Yeah.
Well, Olivia had painted in the bathroom. Of course, she took my makeup to our bathroom wall. So I said, oh, well, I have this paint left over. Let me touch up that white paint.
First of all, guys, before she continues, we always have paint left over. We have buckets and buckets of paint from I don't even know projects and when we've had it. It's just there because at some point we might need to repaint something. Go ahead.
Well, because Olivia paints on walls.
Yeah.
So I try to save it. But I did not have white left over from the bathrooms last time. But so I took this white paint and I touched up that wall. And then I realized that it's a different white. But I was already so far
There are
in.
different shades of white, y'all. There's eggshell.
Yeah.
There's soft white. There's snow white. There's
I don't know.
Walter
This just said white and semi-gloss white.
Yeah.
So, but by then I was too far into it and I couldn't stop. So now I'm also repainting the bathroom, but I got halfway through the bathroom and ran out of paint and I got some of it on the ceiling. So now I got to redo the ceiling, which means I have to get the little, plastic stuff so I don't get it in the shower and on the floor. So now the closet project has turned into a bathroom closet.
Yeah.
And I like this white paint so much because it is a different white that I'm going to repaint the other bathroom too. Only the white because I have an accent wall. I'm not going to redo my accent wall because obviously it's not white. It's a different color, but this is how one project becomes another.
Yes, that I was just thinking that literally how, because Renee, my wife has repainted all of the baseboards in the house just because she started painting one, and it was like, oh, look at that, I might as well paint the other one, and then you get down all the way down.
So good.
This is what adult ADHD looks like, ladies and gentlemen. You start painting one, and then you got to go to the whole thing. And what she actually meant to do was just sweep the living room.
Well, yeah, because when you're sweeping the living room, then you see that it's like worn off and scuffed and you can't clean it because it won't come up. And you know that's my next project is actually redoing all the baseboards again because they need to be scrubbed and clean. And some of them are just, they need to be painted.
Some of them have been here since 1955 when the house was built.
But we've lived here for 6 years. And so I really feel like I need to also repaint the living room walls because the fresh paint looks so good when I did the closet and the bathroom. And I just redid the dining room last year, so that one's fine, but the rest of the house needs to be repainted.
Oh, my God.
And I want to paint the doors black.
There you go. And I don't have to be part of it. I don't have to. Now that door right there is black and it does look really good. So
I have a list.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, keep me off that list. So are you just drinking? Is that just champagne?
Yeah, because we don't have orange juice.
So you're just giving up now. You don't even care anymore. There's no delusion.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? Well, what did I normally do? It was like a drop.
Yeah.
And now there's just no drop, which I'm fine with.
You know it's not even 10 a.m., right?
So technically.
It's daylight savings time.
Oh, technically it's almost 10.
Pull that crap, but it is literally 8:39 a.m. On a Sunday morning. But yeah, anyhow.
But when I have a project going on, I get up early and ready to go. I'm ready for my closet to be put back together.
I have to do it. Mm-hmm. You're not doing anything.
Well, I mean, I can do that part too. I just prefer not to.
What exactly are you going to be doing?
I'm going to supervise to make sure you get it done timely.
So you can't measure for me because you don't know how to read the lines on a measuring tape.
Wait. I'm going to stop you there. I know how to measure things on it. I just don't know the correct numbers to use.
You're not strong enough to hold up the thing. The thing's too heavy for you. You're not tall enough because the thing.
The length thing you got me on.
Exactly.
But the strong enough, hey, I get creative.
So what Renee actually is really good at doing is sitting back, drinking her mimosa, actually it's champagne right now, and dictating what I do.
But wait, I got to go back to the tape measure because I can do the tape measure. I just don't know the correct number. So I will say the third little line after the 5 or whatever it is, or the 6th little line. And I know my dad gets frustrated because I know my dad has taught me these things. But
they're fractions. It's fractions, and literally, if it's a
fractions were created by the devil to torture me.
I need to buy you a measuring tape for dummies. Just one that just has all of them.
I don't need that because when I'm doing a project by myself, I get it without a problem.
How she measures when she hangs.
No, I don't. No, when I use a tape measure, I just go 1, 2, 3. Like I know.
When she hangs pictures, y'all, she just does it like this.
Actually, I don't use just my hand. I normally have an object of some sort. So sometimes, I'll find a hanger and hold it and. Yeah. But I have started measuring the distance from the ceiling to the nail because otherwise my pictures aren't level. So I have started doing that.
I can't deal with you. I cannot deal with you. Anyhow. So what you been up to, baby? And this other than building closets, and you've been reading, but not really reading.
No, I have been reading. I read several books back to back, but then I got behind on other things because I was reading. So now I'm back to doing my other things, and I'm still trying to get through Pet Cemetery. It's really hard.
For Renee's book club podcast.
That was a drunken conversation. I don't.
You know what? I think you and your friend Emily would love to do that. You should do it. I would love to produce it just for the craps.
If we got drunk and then reviewed books,
that's the whole point of it, is it not?
That would be better.
Yeah, absolutely. But you've also been watching a lot of reality TV, not regular reality TV. You've been watching a lot of reality dating shows, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So there's the one that we watched together, which is Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Mm-hmm.
Which Love is Blind is coming to Tampa at some time in the near future, and
I love Love is Blind.
Please be on the lookout for our commentary of that because if we see people that we know, it's going to be hilarious. But what's the other one?
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
And so please explain this concept of this show to me or people who have sense and don't watch this.
So first off, randomly, I don't even know. I was just out of shows to watch, and I saw a preview, and I was like, oh, let's dive into this. And I started at season 13. I think there's 17 seasons. But so what the concept is that you have people that apply and go through all of this testing, I guess. There's psychologists and testing and all this stuff. And then you basically have experts. You have experts who pair people up and they get married and they've never seen each other before. So the first time they're seeing each other is at the altar. So Married at First Sight. And then they go through this 8 weeks. Well, actually, the beginning seasons, it was only 6. But anyways, you go through 8 weeks and then you have to determine whether or not you're going to stay married or not.
I guess what's just... What do you find? All right, so it's entertaining, right? Because the people are mostly stupid.
They're not stupid. Don't say that. I don't like it when you use that word. Don't
Stupid?
call people stupid. Yeah.
The people are mostly...
No, don't say stupid.
Inexperienced, ignorant?
No, I don't even like to say that.
I mean, the concept of...
They want love. That doesn't make them stupid or inexperienced.
Yes, I get that they want love, but the fact that they think that they can get love from 8 weeks is absurd.
No, they're not trying to get love within 8 weeks. So that's, I think sometimes because you only hit and miss watch it, don't understand. They're not expecting them to necessarily be loved. They know that that's not the case. It's finding somebody who matches you enough that you're willing to put in the work to continue to make that last, right? So you don't, at the end of the 8 weeks, you're not like love like you and I are in love, are we?
It's been 11 years, so who knows?
It's more of, is this person's personality compatible with mine that we can make it work, because not everybody's personalities are compatible enough.
Though the scientists going, hey, let me beat the natural order of things. Let me beat the societal, natural, normative way to date. Let me beat it by saying, hey, I'm an expert. I'm a scientist. I'm going to do all these psychological profiles. I'm going to use science to fix these people's romance problems. And they're almost trying to see if they can do that.
No, they're not trying to fix it.
I'm trying to fix it. They're trying to beat it.
No, they're not trying to beat it either, right?
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think that these scientists are trying to say, hey, you know what? I don't like, people can easily go out and meet someone and find love.
It's not that easy.
It's easier, I think, than trying to make yourself fall in love with somebody in 8 weeks.
If I come and I just meet somebody randomly at the bar, I don't know their background, their family, their trauma, all of that, right? You think about it, even through us in therapy and marriage counseling, right? My trauma becomes your problem and your trauma becomes my problem as a married couple.
Yeah.
Being able to look at people individually and say, okay, well, this person's trauma and this person's trauma could kind of mesh together, and other people's can't. I don't think that that's trying to beat the natural cycle. I think it's smart.
I think that...
Think about me. So I've been divorced, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Did you tell me you would go on the show?
No, but I don't like camera. Like, I don't like that kind of attention. Even us recording and me being on camera is very hard for me.
The thing about it for me is that is the commentary that the things that they say on the show about they're acting as if these people aren't strangers, and that's what drives me nuts.
No, but that's the thing is if you really watch it, the experts remind them you just met this person.
How do you not already know
It's the people on the show sometimes that are like, well, they're my husband. I feel like maybe we should be farther along. They're putting extra pressure, which you're on camera. People are recording. People are watching you. I think that has more to do with it than anything else, because they just feel like, oh, well, the experts say we should be together. There should be like this instant chemistry. I don't think so. I wouldn't use the word desperate, right? I just think that it's hard. I don't know. I just think it's hard.
It wasn't hard for you. You've been married twice.
Yeah, but I've also been divorced.
Once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as we know.
You don't know what I got in the works.
Could be getting served paper. Somebody knocking on the door right now serving me
But the thing is even when it comes to you and I, right? If I don't know, Olivia asked me this today.
Yeah.
Why are you and Daddy still married?
Yeah, she talked about divorce. Which I was like, first of all, before you tell that, I was laying on the couch halfway asleep, and all of a sudden I hear my daughter talking about us getting a divorce, and I'm just like, what? What's happening right now?
Well, it's because of something I was watching on TV, and they were like, oh, so-and-so went through a divorce. And she said, oh, well, what is a divorce? So I explained it to her, and she's like, well, why are you and Daddy then not divorced? Like, does everybody get divorced? And I said, well, no, Daddy and I are still married because we put in a lot of really hard work. Like, and she was like, oh, so so do you only get divorced if you don't have kids? And I said, well, no, mommy's been divorced from Nicholas's dad, and there was a kid, and then that led to the
kids usually do lead to divorce.
Oh, you're horrible. But yeah, no, so there was that, she's asking that question, and what I told her is no, mom and dad work really, really hard to stay married. And let's be honest, right? Through 2 years ago, year and a half ago, 2 years, it was pretty rough. We were in a really how much longer are we going to last? But you and I both wanted to put in the work because that is our personality, right? Of it is worth it for us. We started therapy, and I personally think, I don't know, what do you think? We're in a night and day difference from where we were almost 2 years ago.
Absolutely not.
Well, no, I'm not going to say that. I mean, they're day to day. Like, there are days I'm like, why am I with you? But in therapy, right? And we continue to work through a lot of things. And I think in therapy, I don't know, have you noticed that first off, I thought not that it was going to be an immediate fix therapy, but that it wasn't going to take as long. And what I've realized is even now, all this time into it, being reminded in our sessions and things to be aware of you and you to be aware of me. Yeah. Do you catch yourself? I'm using our stuff more and more that we've learned.
Yeah. I mean, we have less and less to fight about because we
diffuse it.
We diffuse it, and we've. It's more on the lines of what is my end game, right?
Yeah.
Do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? Now you want to be right all the time. So, but for me, I'm the husband, so I guess I have to eat a lot of crow. But in general, for me, it's do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? Obviously, I do want to be right because it feels good to be like, ha, I got you. But also, I really want to be happy, and as long and what we find is it's not a lot of times it's not big things, and that's what the things also on a lot of the Married at First Sight and maybe
little things.
The Love Is Blind too. It was a lot of little things, and little things will kill you because they build up and they build up and they build up. So if you don't have the tools to be able to stop those little things and deal with those things right then and there and move forward, it can be detrimental.
And let me ask you this question. So here's my thought. When all those little things aren't being properly addressed, when the big things come, that trust and that respect isn't there to handle the big things as well, if that makes sense. So I feel like you and I have gotten so good at the little things that when the bigger things come first off, the escalation of them is not as big. Right. We can immediately talk about it and say, oh, this is what went wrong. Prepare ourselves for it next time. Like, I just feel as if all those little things really do matter because it makes the big things that much easier. Because I trust you now. And we have a level of respect because we handle the little things better.
Yeah. Well, you trust me enough to the point where, you're not nagging me as often to get things
done.
Oh,
but I want to.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know. It's crazy. I do find it interesting because Renee is definitely the type of person that she'd rather just do it herself. She'll ask you, and if you haven't done it right away, immediately, 60 seconds later, she's like, okay, I'll just do it myself. Fine, I don't need you. But boy, when you see her doing it, she is just so pissed off to have to be doing this right now. So it's just, so for me, I'm definitely the person that I'm going to do it when I'm going to do it. But I am conscious that it does piss you off. And I'd rather be happy than right.
No, my favorite is especially, so time is a big thing for me. I don't like to be late. And by late, I need to be 20 minutes early at least. And it's a big thing for us. So I'll always set a time. Hey, what's our timeline? So I know, because I feel better. This is what time we're going to leave. So if we start to leave late, I've tried really hard to not freak out on anybody in the family. So then I just sit there. And then Claude gets mad at my face. And I'm like, I can't control my face. Like, it takes everything I have to not yell, to not nag, to not be freaking out and spiraling out of control. So then I sit. But then you're like, Renee, I see it in your face. I'm like, but I'm not saying anything. And so I don't, like, but I feel like I've done better because normally I'd be like nagging, because I'm trying so hard not to nag. Because one of the things that came up, I think, in one of our therapy sessions where we talked about is, what am I instilling in our kids by acting this way about time? Yeah. I don't want to pass on my fear of time to the kids, not in the way that I do it. You should have a respect of time and being on time to things. Mine goes a little over the top. because I panic. I have a whole anxiety attack. Claude and I used to get into massive fights on the way there to the point that I was ready. I'm like, we're not going.
Yeah.
We're going to show up on time. This is late. I don't even want to go.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want to pass that on to the kids.
Right. And
Poor Nicholas. I think
he has it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to tell him to shut up sometimes.
But
Like,
I
chill
didn't
out.
start therapy until he was much older.
Yeah.
The poor firstborn child.
You know, he'll definitely have his therapy to do when he's.
Are we going to have to pay for that?
No.
I feel like parents should.
Parents don't pay for our therapy.
I know,
Are
but
you
I
crazy?
think parents should pay for their children's therapy.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be so nice.
Some people can't. No, absolutely not. Anyhow,
Our parents couldn't afford our therapy.
I want to get back. I want to talk more about that in a minute, but I wanted to ask your opinion about this because there's something else that you've been following. I feel like for the last however many months at this point. This whole Taylor Swift Travis Kelce thing, right? Is his name Travis Kelce?
I don't know who he is.
Yes, you do. He's two-time Super Bowl.
I have never heard of this man until he started dating Taylor Swift.
We're not Chiefs fans. We live in Tampa. We're Bucks fans. So why would you're not a sports fan like that. You don't.
I'm a hockey fan.
You're barely a hockey. 955 hockey players. Currently.
Oh, current.
Exactly. So you're not as much of a
That's
fan. That's
because I'm a mom now. I don't have time.
But I want to ask you about this because I feel like I like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is cool, but y'all are kind of going overboard with this nonsense now. And talking about how she's put him on the map and and it's not just
his
her now.
sales went up 400%.
Now Haley Steinfeld's got a dude that's on a football team, and now apparently Dua Lipa was dating somebody too now, and it's crazy to me because what I'm starting to really think is that we just need to go and have like a pop star draft. Like the top 32 pop stars, right? We get them all together once a year, and we draft them. Each team gets one because it's not fair. Tampa don't have nobody. We used to have Giselle Bundchen, but she really wasn't, Tom Brady's wife. So no, we get all 32 of the top, pop stars together.
You can't compare anybody to Taylor Swift.
And it's literally goes like this. It's like in the 2024 draft, pop star draft, the Tampa Bay Bucks choose Dua Lipa, and then she comes up, she puts on the gear. And then she comes to all our games. She doesn't have to date a player. She just comes to all our games and dances and does a little party thing and maybe befriend one of our.
You're just upset that he doesn't play for Tampa and Tampa's not getting all this attention.
I mean.
That's what.
Without Pat Mahomes, but so it's not like he would be. Anyhow, you don't know any of that. But my thing is that I'm trying to understand the phenomenon, right? I don't
behind Taylor Swift.
Go ahead. Yes.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm trying to clarify.
You ladies are hilarious. Because if I came around and I said, boy, that Travis Kelce put Taylor Swift on the map.
Oh, we would shut you down. You would be canceled so fast.
Why?
Because
she did put him on the map. Travis Kelce actually did put Taylor Swift on the map for a lot of men. A lot of men didn't know nothing about no damn Taylor Swift.
Every man knows Taylor Swift.
They may know who Taylor Swift is, but they don't know nothing about her. They don't know her songs. Her stuff did. Said that her stuff did go up too, just like
any man that has dated a woman knows Taylor Swift.
I think any man that's dated a man knows Taylor Swift too.
Exactly. No, that's true too. But her songs are like some of the best breakup. Like, hey, this song is about you, right?
Men aren't sitting in the car listening to Taylor Swift when they break up with somebody.
I'm not saying that they are, but I'm saying women. I'm telling you, everybody knows Taylor Swift.
Travis Kelce put Taylor Swift on the map for some men. And so, let's think about that as well.
No.
But also,
it's not true.
Like I said, Taylor Swift is cool and all, but y'all getting a little ridiculous with it. Do you know that there's like all these TikToks and crazy things about them getting married now and all this stuff? And I'm just trying to understand.
Listen,
people.
I'm not
about rushing again. See, I'm trying to, and she might as well be on 90 Day Fiance or whatever the hell that show is that you watch. Because I'm trying to understand why they've only been dating for a couple weeks or something. Y'all trying to get them married off already. When we already know Taylor Swift's history with that, it ain't gonna last.
This guy's like nobody she's ever dated before.
How? He's still a white man?
Yes. Oh my God, I saw this funny. I should have sent it to you.
A meathead white man with money?
I should have sent this to you. Who was it? Taylor Tomlin? No, it was a comedian. It was one of the comedians that actually had made one of their sets or whatever was about dating tall, scrawny men. But it was always a specific type because they thought that they're like, oh, subconsciously maybe I thought that like I was safe because they were tall, but they were like really little, and they were like oh well, maybe people would be intimidated by them, but when you get close they're like really, really small.
Okay.
But then and they did some sort of weird comparison. I don't remember how, because I don't remember things like
Okay.
that. But about how he's tall, but he is like,
He's a football player.
he's a football player.
Yeah.
So this whole time she's been dating these like smaller, like, yeah, they're big guys, they're well known, all these things, but he's like more of a, I don't know. It was hilarious. However they got there, I found it but he's different. He's different.
So she's dating a guy that's athletic and athlete and I guess there was a story about how he was telling the security guy that he's got this.
Don't wait. But can I ask you this question?
So I'm trying to understand the whole concept around why they're getting married, because he's an athlete. He's big.
I'm not speculating any of that. To be honest, this is her life. She could date as many men as she wants to,
I get
and
that.
nobody should get to have an opinion on her, on him, on
I
anybody
just
else.
think
Are
it's
they
funny how
happy?
people are always so ready to get people married, and they really don't even understand the concept of marriage.
Well, that's a different conversation. Okay, yeah,
They're not getting married. You want to know why they're not getting married? Because she don't need no guy she's not. When you think about a woman who is wealthy and has a high on-demand job, if you're with any guy that's like that's also similar to that, also think that their shit is, I'm a football player and I got a lot of money myself,
but he's not that kind of guy. Have you ever seen him? He does not come across that at all. He comes across as such a down to earth, really nice guy, which is what she comes across.
Have you ever met an NFL player before?
Not NFL, just hockey players.
No,
but actually, all the hockey players I've ever met seem really down to earth
too. These guys get
too.
women thrown at them left and
not the
right,
point.
And they think that they're gods.
You can't wait. You cannot
put.
You cannot put everybody into one box.
Football players in the NFL is how we knight people in this country, and he is Sir Travis Kelce.
You need to do your research though on him specifically. He's not that
That's
guy.
Fantastic. But what I told you before about this situation is that she's on a tour break. And she has time for him. He every other weekend every other day when he's not playing football or practicing, he has time for her. It's not. I'm telling you right now, she needs herself a beta man. That's not in the industry.
How are you gonna judge somebody else though? You have no idea.
I'm not judging.
So let them live their lives.
Stop shipping them. Stop.
I'm just telling you, I'm not getting anybody married. I'm saying let them live their life. Let them live their life.
I'm telling you, your
nobody should get to have an opinion.
Your fellow ladies, tell them to stop talking about how they're going to get married, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of crap that goes on in getting married, and the things there's red flags there, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that they have demanding jobs and all that crazy stuff. It's going to come down to
the fact that you and I are still married is a phenomenal.
Yeah, but we also
so let other people have their own magical whatever. Leave them be.
If you were
leave them be.
Whatever.
Leave them be. Whatever happens with them happens with them. It's between
them.
They
ain't getting married right now. I'm telling you right now, that's not happening.
They're not getting married now. People take things to extremes, right?
Right. But why?
I don't know.
That is the way we look at our celebrities is a commentary on how we look at society as a whole.
Look at Oprah. Oprah's been with her guy for forever, and they're not married. I'm saying you.
Right
no,
now.
my point is.
Don't speak no bad words about no Oprah.
No, I'm saying good things about Oprah. I'm saying people don't have to get married.
I understand that, but so you tell me why they're doing it, because this is the way that we
honestly, because I think Taylor Swift fans want to see.
Crazy.
I'm about to hit you
so
hard under this table so that it can't be witnessed.
Go ahead.
I think that they want to see her have her what they consider to be this fairy tale love, because there is this misbelief of this fairy tale love. And wait, and let me say this.
Despite the fact that Taylor Swift preaches feminism and independence and you
girl, can have all those things.
Her fans are still wanting her to find a man.
You can have all of those things and still have a fairy tale love.
I get that.
Okay, but here is my thing, right? Here is where the confusion comes in, and the hope that I can teach my daughter the difference of. There's no such thing as fairy tale love.
No.
There's no such thing as that.
No.
There is a happy ending. There is a finding.
Death?
I'm going to hit you. There is such thing as a happy ending and finding somebody who is worth fighting for.
Okay.
But it is not this fairy tale Cinderella story that you just find this prince, you run off in the sunset and everything's magical. No, there's nothing magical about this shit. Every day we got to get up.
It takes work.
And we have to work.
And you should not enter into
There
a
are not
marriage
little
unless you're willing to work.
birds. They're not little birds
Yeah.
singing. There aren't butterflies that come up when we wake up.
Yeah.
No, there's like, I'm ready to beat your ass today.
Right.
Like that's what this is. Yeah.
And I mean, I was just
And reminding
commentating
yourself
on
that you
the
don't
fact
look good in orange.
that whole ordeal is crazy. And people are just in general just trying to get people married off so quickly, and it's the same thing with these. I feel like with these reality dating shows, it's the same thing.
I don't agree.
Marriage, relationships take time. You change. You're a different person every 7 years. You're a different person, and marriages require a tremendous amount of work, and you should not enter into one until unless you're willing to actually work on it. And
But-
being able to work on it requires a lot of time and energy.
It does.
And people like those celebrities don't have a lot of time or energy to spare.
My thing is this, though. I think that it's not about marriage. So, I mean, it is about marriage, but it's not even just about marriage. It's about finding your person.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have a person.
You don't have to be married.
Right. You don't have to be married. It's about, but we in our society or whatever, that's in our mind, right? If you find your person, you're married to that
Yeah.
person. Your person could be your best friend.
Yeah.
Your person could, like it doesn't have to be marriage per se, but I think because society, that's what we picture is if you find your person, you marry them. But don't you want to be like, I want a person.
Am I not your person?
You are but that's my point.
I was very
That's
confused.
no, but that's my whole purpose. Or my whole point.
I want to find a person. Well, am I not that guy?
But even you, so you're my person, right?
Yeah.
But are you my only person?
No.
Am I your only person?
Yeah.
No. You want to have relationships that are worth fighting for and that people that you can trust, that make you feel safe, and that you can have a lifetime with. Because unfortunately, I could die tomorrow.
Well,
right? No, but I'm saying, right, you can't put all your eggs in just
Well,
me
and I've
either.
often told you too before my idea about marriage and relationships that your partner should not be your best friend. Your partner.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
But you have
You
a
are my best
I have a
friend.
best friend. No, and the experiences and the things that we share are very different from what we share with our best friends. It's not the same thing. It could be.
You can have more than one best friend, though.
That's true,
Aha.
but you don't.
That's my theory.
It's different. Marriage and relationships, the bond that you share with that person is very different from
It
your
is.
best friend.
Agreed.
It transcends friendship. It's almost it's almost transcending family. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to explain. And I think when people make that comparison, you're almost setting yourself up for failure because your best friend is somebody that you think about this often. How often do you argue with your best friend?
Not often.
How often do you argue with your significant other? All the damn time.
Daily.
Right? So it's not the
Weekly.
same relationship. You don't have
Yeah.
the same vulnerability. And so the comparison is kind of a little bit
Well,
off.
your best friend is the person you go to vent
Right.
about your
Right.
significant other.
Right.
But you're still my best. You know more about me than anybody else on this
I'm
planet.
not your best friend. I'm your husband.
I-
That's why they don't call me best man.
But-
I'm your husband. It's a
But
different
listen,
thing.
a lot of people don't have that relationship with their significant others
Well, I pity
either.
them. Watch this show and you can see how we.
But you do. But you know more about me than anybody else in this
As it
world
should be.
does. My best friend is the second person who knows to you. Like there's
Right.
probably a handful of things that you know that they don't, right?
Yeah.
But it's still pretty. It's pretty close. It's
Yeah.
a pretty. But you know me on a more intimate level
Yeah.
because we're intimate.
Yes.
Obviously.
Very intimate. Not as often as I like, but we
I
are
can't.
still
I'm
intimate.
gonna hit you.
But I wanted to. But there was something interesting that Troy, our therapist, said about dating, and going back to our first conversation about the dating shows, about the concept of dating and how modern concepts of dating are actually only about 50 years old, right? The idea of
I think it was more than 50, wasn't it?
No, I think
Years
it's about
old.
50 years old. Well, I mean, what is it? 2023, so 70 years old, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Less than 100 years, because back then, the idea of arranged marriages. So the concept, which is basically that show, Married at First Sight, basically does is that back in the day you were arranged to be married,
Mm-hmm.
or even so much in the 50s and the 40s. Hey, this is my daughter, this is my son. Hey, let's form a union.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to be alone with them. You're not allowed to go out on dates with them. Everybody goes together, the family.
Mm-hmm.
So the concept of dating is not. It's not as old as we think it is, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that he said that was really interesting was the fact that people date, and when they date, they learn to break up.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to back in the day when you would maybe be arranged, or you would have that set up marriage, and you would kind of learn to stay in that marriage. You would learn to
Because you work at it.
You work at it. Whereas now, you date and you basically, if I don't like this, I can hop out. If I don't like that, I can hop out. That bothers me, I can hop out. And so
you learn how to leave when things get hard instead of working through them.
exactly. So dating has actually taught people how to break up.
Well, and the other interesting thing I thought was that in countries in which they still have, or cultures that they still have
Right.
arranged marriages, but divorces are allowed. It's
Yeah.
not that they're not
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
So you have an arranged marriage versus here where we don't.
Right.
The divorce rate is so much lower
Yeah.
for the arranged marriages than they are for us, right?
Right.
Wasn't that, it was something like
Yeah.
along those
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
And they're allowed to get divorced. So it's not as if it's an arranged marriage, they're being forced, they can never get divorced.
Right.
But it's just that because they're doing it because they're going to work through it. And
Right.
it's, well, and like I said, it goes back to our daughter asking this morning, why are you and daddy not divorced? And
Hint, hint. What is she
and
doing?
right, no, well, she wasn't saying it in that, oh, we should get divorced just
Yeah.
because there are other families and why and blah blah blah. And I said, because we work really really hard. And I told her, I said, marriage is very hard.
Yeah.
But dad and I wake up every day and we decide that we're gonna work at it. And I
Right.
hope that that's something that both kids take from us.
Right. And the other concept that I thought was really interesting too was the fact that dating is like a piece of tape, right? You put it on your arm, pull that tape off. You're pulling cells and hair and all kinds of stuff. And so you go to the next person you date. You put it back on. Sorry, you put it back on. And you're taking the hair, the cells and all stuff, and it
Doesn't stick as
and
well.
It doesn't stick as well. You keep
Yeah.
doing it over and over and over and over again to the point where it doesn't stick at all. And so this is why people are just so disaffected, I think, with dating. And
Yeah.
because they bring so much over from each relationship. Whereas back in the day, like you said, when it was all arranged, you didn't really have that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say dating. I don't want to say everybody stop dating, but I think we do need to date smarter, or
Yeah.
have that thought in mind that maybe you can't just jump ship.
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
quickly.
You need to work through.
You have to work through it.
Well, and because we talk about it too, right? Of so many, well, more so, I feel like me even than you, because I had more serious relationships before you than you did before me. But
Yeah.
we bring it in.
Yeah.
We bring that baggage with us.
Yeah.
And those are major things that we've had to work through. Like me being able to trust you, me
Yeah.
being able to lean on you, me being able to count that financially you're not just going to run out on me, that you're going to get addicted to something, right? These are all things and baggage that I brought into this relationship that you're like, I don't understand why you're so mad right now. And
Right.
I'm like, it took me a long time to even be vulnerable and to actually, I had to do the work to realize why I was upset by things.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time doing that, right? We had an instant even yesterday where we're having a conversation. I said, I need to sit with this.
Yeah.
I need to think through this because I don't know why I'm upset. I feel upset, but I'm not sure why. And I really need to figure it out so that way I can get to the core of it. So that way then we can have a conversation. But that's years of therapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's taken me years. And even then still, right, I still don't know sometimes why.
Yeah. And it's really is that relationships are hard. They take time.
So much.
Marriage is not something to be entered into lightly.
And it's frustrating when people not just enter it into lightly, but oh yeah, no, I got this. This
Yeah.
is easy. It's
Yeah.
well, yeah, because you're not 10, 11 years in and have all these other factors and you're not doing the work.
Right,
Like
Carrie was right.
it's
Love
really
does
hard.
take time.
It takes, and it's not just time though. It's work.
Work. Yeah, that's true.
It's so much
That is
work.
true, yeah.
Just because you say I do doesn't mean that your experience or that you know what you're doing. We're all learning. Like I could never question someone who's been married for 30 years. Right. Their experience level is so beyond what we
Well,
even
the
have.
generations are very different too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that our millennials are going to be the best generation when it comes to marriage.
I think they have more therapy than
but I
we do.
think
That
we
did.
we do have more resources or access to more things, more tools than our parents did, and because they stayed married just for
Because they had no choice.
had no choice, right? Financial reasons, the kids,
Yeah.
Things of that nature. But you know, we stay married because we do genuinely care, but
'Cause we
also
want to.
we're wanting to work on it.
Yeah.
You know, and we can't have small things or even big things stop it because marriage is a serious commitment.
Yeah.
And you know, I think nobody wants to give up on their marriage. Nobody wants to feel like they failed.
Right.
But you can't enter something not try or do the work, and then just be like, well, it is.
But it takes both people too.
It does.
I remember once asking one of my grandmas who their marriage was not like, there's no way I would have been able to deal with it. And I remember asking her, but why did you stay?
Yeah.
And she said, honey, back then there was no option.
Yeah.
I was a woman and I could have never, I like my rights. I didn't even have the rights to be able to do all these things, right? Because it has just been within the 60s that women could even get their own credit cards in their own names.
In the 50s, yeah.
Well, I say that because my mom was born in the 60s. So I thought it. But anyways, but it was around those time, right? When my mom was young, or when my parents were younger.
I think the point is that nowadays we have options. You guys got to use them.
But back then you didn't have options. And so if you didn't have options, why did you do? Now we have options. So if you want to make this work, we're going to have to do therapy.
Right.
Because I can leave if I want to leave.
Right.
So what do you want? Do you want to stay with me? Because you can't just say, well, you have to do what I say because you can't leave. No, I can leave. It makes us, I don't know. That's kind of how I think some of the culture.
Divorce is expensive.
Says the man who's never been divorced. Let me tell you as somebody who has.
All I know is that you get the kids.
It's expensive. Can I have the dogs?
You can have the dogs. All right, guys, moving on to our advice part of the show. This is actually a funny one. All right, the headline: My girlfriend takes relationship advice from TikTok, and this is
picked this intentionally, didn't you?
Probably going to end up on TikTok, guys. So I understand the irony around it. Okay, but anyhow,
did this on purpose.
It just really annoys me that this is actually from Initial Rabbit 7035 on Reddit. My girlfriend takes relationship advice from TikTok. It just really annoys me that my girlfriend takes advice from women that clearly have no idea what they are talking about. When I was a kid, the joke was magazines gave women advice that isn't true. I feel like TikTok is the new version. Then on top of that, compare what we do to people to what people do on there. She is constantly trying to craft her dream house, vacation car, etc. All from TikTok. Wouldn't that time be better served putting in the effort towards something profitable to achieve those dreams? I got a guy brain 100%, so maybe I don't get it. No, I don't think it's not a guy brain at all. I think people do a lot of stuff from TikTok that they shouldn't. Take the political news, medical advice. There's people think that because it's out on the web that it's legit. I will say there are some things on TikTok that are like, wow, that's a good point, but it definitely shouldn't be your anchor and your compass. It should be maybe I think the whole idea is to be thought provoking. And bring up ideas and make you kind of look at things differently to kind of start the conversation. Yeah, but it shouldn't be your end all be all.
I like your thought provoking because that's where I think. So I'll see something and then I'm like, wait, let me do some research on this. I got to figure out what is. But there are some relationship things that I find very helpful, and sometimes even I send them to you, like date night ideas, or I'm trying to think, just some things of like, oh, but have you thought of it from this perspective? Oh no, I haven't. And I'll be honest, in therapy we do a lot. I feel like therapy, that's a lot of it is, oh, but have you thought about this? Right. Oh crap, no, I haven't thought about this. So it's thought provoking. It does make you see things from different points of view, which I think is very important in relationships.
I think, though, in this case, when he's talking about dream house, vacation car, etc., his girlfriend sounds like or spouse
taking it too far.
She's getting caught into the social media trap of they have that, why don't I have that? It's comparison.
Oh yeah,
and that could be. Don't do that because most of that stuff is fake.
Well, but I send you a lot of things. I'm like, oh, look at this. But I'm not at the same time like, why don't we have this? Right? It's like, oh, hey, maybe someday this could be on our bucket list to go to.
In our bedroom, we're going to have some faux paneling that we got from a TikTok.
So I get ideas from there. Yes. And vacation ideas. And
true.
Well, wait, so we went to Oregon a couple years ago. Okay. Now, it wasn't a TikTok thing, but it was an Instagram. I found... I'm not going to say it right. Matoma Falls.
I don't know.
Matoma Falls. Anyways, I saw this Instagram post of somebody who was on vacation there. I was like, oh, this is like the best thing. I planned an entire vacation over one waterfall that we spent an hour at. But we did a whole 4-day vacation because of it. Yeah. So But that was a fun vacation. The falls were beautiful, was it not?
It was fun adjacent. Yes, definitely.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
So I don't want to discourage. I have things that I've saved. I have a whole list of places I want to see based off of TikToks that I've seen.
Use TikTok and Instagram for what it's meant to be.
But I don't get
and thought provoking, not
right,
necessarily the end all be all. You cannot take, and I understand the irony of this because this is probably going to be on TikTok that I'm saying don't take dating advice from TikTok, and we're giving you dating advice, and we're probably on TikTok right now. But use this as a means to think about things in your relationship and work on them. But the work is going to be done by YouTube. You cannot use TikTok as a means that because it's on TikTok, that's law. No.
Like sending you something like, why don't you treat me like this?
Right. Because most of that social media stuff, guys, is fake.
Yeah.
So you have to be.
Well, and it's not even just that it's fake; is that there's a lot of other things. It's not as just simple as one thing, right? There are so many things that go into a relationship and that go into a marriage. It's not just one sentence on a TikTok.
I agree. Absolutely. Well, great show, Renee. You did a really good job. Welcome back. We will do our best, guys, to make sure that you're getting this every week or every other week.
Claude's going to do another TikTok to determine whether, or TikTok, we're going to have to do another, I can't even think.
I don't know. What, TikTok?
Another video about whether or not we agree on how we're about to put my closet together.
Oh, my God. That's going to be awful. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're at a streamer where you're liking and subscribing, make sure that you share, follow, all of the necessary stuff, guys. Thank you for listening and or watching. I am Claude.
And I guess I'm Renee.
Why do you guess you're Renee?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. And this is before the kids wake up.